Welcome to Victory Chief Gaming, and I know it's a bit of a different intro than normal, but I feel like I need to quickly explain something. So, we record these episodes in batches, like big 2.5 to 3.5 hour batches, and if a technical issue occurs, it'll go all the way through. We always try to prepare for everything, but sometimes things go wrong, and in the case of these Puyo Puyo Tetris episodes, something did go wrong. So I break them up into 3 tracks, basically. I have my own track, I have the game's audio, and I have Kathlynn's track. My track and the game audio, perfect. No problems whatsoever. Kathlynn's one, though, for whatever reason, she sounded like a chipmunk. You couldn't make out what she was saying. I brought it down to 1/5 speed. You could kind of hear what she's saying, but for some reason, it seemed to be like, every half second was missing. It was just an absolute mess, and so we were trying to figure out what to do. And in the end, what we settled on, despite, all of our efforts, some of her voice does manage to get into my microphone. I did a bit of a cycle of bringing up my audio track many, many times so that you could actually hear her. I set it up as the 3rd track, and I tried to cut out all the bits where I speak because it was ungodly loud. So you can hear what she's saying. It sounds really rough. It's not good quality, but it was either that or leave her out. And there's some really funny moments with her. So that's why I wanted to try to leave it in. You will have to bear with it for the next bunch of Puyo Puyo Tetris episodes. But for the meantime, please sit down, enjoy our little banter. Welcome to Victory Achieved Gaming. This is Owen, also known as the Immortalium.
And I am Kathlynn.
And we are back with Puyo Puyo Tetris. Now, before we go back to our adventure, there is actually something I want to do a little differently today. Because Kathlynn was telling me that she didn't get a chance to really practice.
I was like, I have to prepare on my phone. My phone isn't the best for these kind of games.
So what I was thinking we might do a little bit today, folks, just be patient with her, is, do you see where it says lessons? Let's actually do this first, just to get an idea.
Okay, we're doing this, I'm guessing?
So which one do you want to practice for, Puyo Puyo or Tetris?
Beginner.
Okay, so let's just learn a bit more about this, and hopefully it'll... Why is it showing...
I don't know.
Keyboard and mouse?
Okay, let's discuss the basics of how to play Tetris.
I'll read it out for you because you're the one playing. Once you master these core concepts, you'll have no problem playing. Ready? Okay. Basic rules. This block is a tetramino. I know this is the basic one now, so to clear them, simply create a line horizontally. Controls. Use the mouse or the arrow keys on your keyboard to move the tetraminos as they drop. I don't know why it's going with that. So the control stuff, I mean, we already know how to do this stuff on a controller, so... This is what happens when you move the mouse. Yeah, but you can do the same thing on the controller. Yeah. Just if it's mentioning the controls of the keyboard and mouse, just skip through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip through all this stuff.
Yeah. Just keep going.
So that's when I press the down button.
Yeah, that's the soft drop, and then they're probably gonna tell you about the hard drop. Oh no, actually they just did the line. When you lamp a row horizontally, all the blocks will be cleared. You score points when you clear these lines, so do your best. Rotate the tetraminos by, and I believe it's like one of the face buttons on your one.
I can use these ones, but I don't do it, they're doing it.
Yeah. Right now they're not letting you play. You can rotate... Yeah. Go on. Bit weird how it's not showing the controller once. But yeah, Ghost Piece shows where it'll go if it goes down. You've been taking note of that, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, actually, if there's anything here that you spot that you're like, oh, I didn't know that, let me know, okay? Because I would be genuinely curious. I think, are they getting ready to set up a Tetris here?
I think? No.
Oh no, they're just doing 2 lines at once. Do you see this? It says next. This alerts you what sort of tetramino you will receive after the current one.
Yeah, I do notice that.
Keep an eye on this display so you can plan 1 or 2 moves in advance. Garbage blocks. These are garbage blocks. Garbage blocks are annoying blocks that appear on the board from the bottom. Where do they come from? Who knows? When you clear multiple lines at once, garbage blocks get sent over to your opponent. They will always have a space, so try to fill up these rows and get rid of them. If I was playing, I would have actually saved it for that line up there, but...
Yeah, I'm not playing.
Once blocks pile up on top of the board, it's called a lockout. If that happens, you lose. So they're just gonna lock them out. If they rotated a bit, they could actually do this a lot faster.
Yeah.
It's the end of the basic lesson. Okay, so basic lesson, not very helpful, admittedly. Go back to Tetris. Okay, advanced. Let's see if there's any advanced stuff that... Let's discuss some intermediate skills you can use. This will make playing Tetris much more fun. Ready? Okay. Special controls. Remember how you can press... Yeah, but okay, this is now the hard drop they're teaching you, which is to press up on the direction pad. Yeah, so if you press the... Yeah, it will instantly lock into place where the ghost piece is indicating, called a hard drop. You can also set aside a hold Tetramino. With you, it's the left bumper, I believe. So, I remember it took me a while to convince you to start using that, but it's very helpful. But remember, you can only hold one Tetramino at a time, so when you hold a new piece, the previous one will turn as your new active Tetramino. You will need to play this new Tetramino before you can press hold again. I think there was one point where you were like, you didn't realize... Anyway, yeah, Tetris line clear, so that's the largest you can do. So you can use the hold command in order to help you set that up. Some ways to clearing lines. There might be one technique here they're going to talk about. I'm curious about it. Surely it would be under advanced though, if they're going to talk about this. Hang on, we gotta wait. Now I know they're probably doing all of this to like show you it's in slow time, but I do kind of wish they were slightly faster. You okay?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay, I just heard you go, like you just didn't sound. Okay. What are they preparing here? Oh, are they gonna do like a back-to-back? Is that the plan? Oh my god, they're really setting up a tower here.
That made me nervous.
Oh, they're setting up for a combo. Okay. Yeah. So when you continue... Okay, so this is... I think I briefly touched on this before, but this is kind of new. When you continue to clear lines with each successive Tetramino you place, this is called a combo. Now, the thing with this is you need to have it constantly be... Like, if there's one move in between, it breaks the combo. Oh my god, and they're going to get an all clear as well. Some other terminology for you to learn. If you clear all the Tetraminos off the board, it's known as a perfect clear. I don't think you got it with any Tetris ones, but you got it with the Puyo, I remember last time. The more lines you cleared in the final move, the more points a perfect clear is worth. So it's like a multiplier, essentially. You just saw a 2-line perfect clear. Now they're going to set up, I guess, a 4-line? Or, wait a second, they're going combos here. Oh, 1 line. Okay, so they're going with a 1-line perfect clear. Yeah, so there they got about 1,000 points. 3-line perfect clear. Okay, do you see, that was a little over 2,000, I think? And that was like 3k or something. Not easy to get these, but remember that practice makes perfect. Okay, so at least with the combo thing at the end, you kind of learned a little bit there. So that was something new, right?
Yeah, and we're doing expert.
Yes. Okay, I suspect... Yeah, I already see some pieces here, so okay. This is probably going to be brand new stuff. Master these techniques, you'll be even better at Tetris. Ready? Okay. Spins. Yes, okay, so this is what's called a T-spin. So, I'm not even good at these myself. While a T Tetramino is still active, you can rotate it into an opening. So see, you let it go down like that. That's right, you can still rotate Tetraminos before they lock down. So there's like maybe a second or so when they get to the bottom where you can still manipulate them. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So if you keep going, this is called a T-spin. I think I mentioned this a couple of times.
You did, I never was what you meant.
So you see, they rotated it there so that it fit into the slot. It's a great technique to master because of the versatile shape. I haven't even mastered it, so I'm not going to expect you to master it. You can use this Tetramino to recover from mistakes. Now, if you can also clear a line with this Tetramino, then it's worth extra points. And it scales by how many lines you manage to clear. 1 line is a T-spin single, 2 lines is a T-spin double, 3 lines is T-spin triple. Makes sense so far.
Okay.
So if you take a look.
I don't know how they did that, but...
Okay, what are they setting up now? Yeah, they're setting up for another... Is this all going to be about T-spins? Oh no, you can perform this sort of spin with other Tetramino shapes as well. L, J, S, and Z. I forgot about that you can do it with things odd... Oh, we got some slowdown there. That happened one time with this game before. I don't know why. Here we go. So is this the one... So that is very tricky to do, Kathlynn. So again, I'm not going to expect you to like...
I don't think I'd be doing that like I intended.
But I think it's good for you to at least be aware of it.
Yeah.
Just so that, you know, if it ever is a case that, you know, you have the opportunity to do that. You can also clear a single, double, or triple. Any combos performed with a spin are worth even more points. And you will, of course, send garbage blocks to your opponent. I remember watching like some of the world's best Tetris players playing in Puyo Puyo Tetris. And they were like setting up towers so they could do T-spins all the way down in combination with Tetrises. Back to back. So I used this actually when I went up against... Do you remember when I briefly played against a dog last time?
Yes.
I did a one of these, a back-to-back against him at the very beginning, where I did one Tetris and then immediately followed up with another Tetris. So if you create a Tetris line clear or T-spin clear with one Tetramino, and then you do another with the next Tetramino, it's called a back-to-back. Now I think the key rule here might be the case that it doesn't necessarily need to be sequential, just as long as you haven't made any other like clears. As long as it's the same one, I think. So are they going to go with a regular back-to-back Tetris maybe, or are they going with another T-spin? Oh. Do you see that?
That's T-spin.
Yeah, that's going to be a T-spin. So you can't hard drop a T-spin, just to let you know. Oh, I didn't know that, actually. You can do back-to-backs with two different, like... You can either do a Tetris or a T-spin, and that counts as back-to-backs. So yeah, back-to-backs are worth more bonus points, and of course that also means more garbage blocks for your opponent. Try performing a back-to-back with a Tetris line clear and then a perfect clear. Well, perfect clear is very hard to do. I can never really plan one out myself. That is a sure way to rack up a top score. Yeah, this would be vile. It is difficult to set it up, but give it a try, you never know. This is the end of the expert lesson on point scoring. We hope this helps you. There are other techniques to be discovered out there, so jump in and give it a whirl. Puyo Puyo, let's take a look at that. Now, yeah, we can look at beginner first. I was thinking...
I don't think they let you look at advanced first.
Oh, really? Okay. Let's discuss the basics of how to play Puyo Puyo. Once you master these core concepts, you'll have no problem playing. Ready? Okay. Basic rules. And if this is just about the controls in general, the squishy thing is a Puyo. Amazing. They come dropping down from above. Like this! To clear them all, simply match forward the same color together into a group.
I think I need Puyo a little bit more.
If you don't clear Puyos, they will just keep on dropping. Before you know it, your board will be overrun. If a Puyo is ever stacked on top of an X, then you lose. Clearing Puyos. As we saw, when you get 4 Puyos together, they will pop. You need to process that for a bit?
No, I didn't know what to press. I was waiting for it to continue.
The diagonal doesn't count. As Puyos are dropping, it's your job to move them and rotate them. Rotate the Puyos by pressing blah 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 blah. You know how to... It's the same control, I believe, as the other one, and you can move them back and forth on the controller. Are you all set up then? Yeah, fast drop, you just like press down and it'll... Let's move on. Giant Puyos.
I didn't see those.
Now, yeah, I was about to say, so in standard Puyo, you don't get these giant Puyos.
Okay.
But in certain gameplay modes you do.
Okay.
Okay, so this is new. Depending on your gameplay mode, you might encounter these guys. They count as 4 Puyos. Instead of rotating, press blah 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 to swap color. Look carefully at the Puyos you already have stacked up. Use these to their full advantage. Garbage Puyos. These are garbage Puyos. When your opponent gets successful chains, garbage Puyos will be dropped on your board. And an important thing is that they drop from above, rather than like the Tetris one where they go up. You can also send garbage Puyos to your opponent the same way. They don't clear when there are 4 of them in a group. To clear garbage Puyos, set up regular Puyos to be popped adjacent to them. Popping colored Puyos gets rid of the garbage Puyos as well. So you just pop them beside them, and it gets rid of the... I don't know if you knew that.
I think I did, yeah.
Okay. Popping colored Puyos gets rid of the... Oh, sorry, I already read that. Keep clearing them from the board and create chains to send your opponent some yourself. Next Puyos. Well, yeah, let's just talk about the fact that they'll be up there on the top.
I already know that, so let's get this.
This is the end of the basic lesson. Okay.
Let's see, can I? I thought you couldn't. Oh, you can!
Okay. Well, there's at least one thing in there that was new, so go to advanced.
Oh, I went to experts.
Okay, well, we can work backwards. Let's discuss more about chains. When playing Puyo Puyo, you will eventually need to learn to create chains successfully. Once you get the know-how of this, you will enjoy Puyo Puyo so much more. Ready? Okay. The stair stack. So this is actually my go-to for Puyo, this technique. So as you can see, you can have Puyos cleared if stacked accordingly. So just to point out, so he's bringing down yellow, do you see? And the red will fall and do that, then the green will fall.
And the blue will fall, and then the yellow will fall.
Yeah. So that is my go-to, that technique. So when this Puyo drops and clears this group here, the nearby Puyos fall and connect, starting a chain. For this kind of setup, you will need to plan ahead. Ready to learn? Starting from the bottom, place Puyos down to determine the colors of the columns. Next, make sure to leave a space open on the left or right side. Then stack pair of the same colors on top. Now, that's much easier said than done, because, you know, obviously it's randomized what Puyos are going to come in. So you have to try to make the best of a bad situation sometimes. In the 4th row, place a Puyo that matches the neighboring column. Like here, it's obviously that they've gotten every piece they need in order to do that. We need one Puyo that matches the column number 2. And as long as the pair matches column number 3, you will have a match there too. So let's try dropping a pair like that into our open space. Did you see that? Now that you got the basics down, don't stop there. We can build on this. This looks a little different. Yeah, this is a little trickier. It's still called a stair stack. Our last stairs were columns of 3 with an offset of 1. This time the Puyos are stacked in pairs. But the concept is the same. There is no one correct way to group Puyos into stairs. Just make sure you follow the principles being displayed. But to do it properly, these kinds need a pair of Puyos to start the chain. Yeah, that's a disadvantage with them. The other method, you could start with only 1, whereas these require 2 to start them. See how many Puyos we can pop with a single move? The sandwich. Sandwiching Puyos is a little trickier. That's an unfortunate way to phrase it. You have a big grin on your face.
Sorry. Yes,
You're tickled by the sandwiching thing, are you?
yes. Go on.
Watch closely. Here is our board. 3 green Puyos are lined up thusly. If we add 1 more, we pop the entire group, right? Now our next piece is a green and a yellow one. Let's rotate it so the yellow is in the bottom. Oh, I use this a bit actually as well, sandwiching. Now that the yellow is between the greens, now do you see why we call it the sandwich method? So we have a group of 3, and then the 4th one is rotated so that it does not touch the others. Now watch. Our next pair of Puyos goes right here next to the sandwich yellow Puyo. In order to remove the yellow Puyo, we need 3 more of the same color. Here's 2 of them, and there's 1 more on the way. Watch! 2 chain. Now just remember, as you set up a sandwich chain, the 4th Puyo of the group needs to be rotated so that it does not touch the others. That is how you trap a sandwich Puyo in between. Ready to try some advanced sandwiching? Oh god, that's really bad. Watch closely. See the board? It's the same basic layout as we just saw, but more complex. Organization is key. We have set ourselves up for a 6 chain. You notice also that sound effect gets higher pitched each time.
Yeah, I did.
How big of a chain can you create? For me, it's usually 5. The turnaround. Stair stacking can only give us a max of a 5 chain. You see, that's why.
Yeah.
However, we can get higher by using the turnaround. See this familiar looking stair stack arrangement? What's different though? That's right, we did not leave an empty column this time. Instead of dropping into an empty column, the column has 3 blue Puyos. Instead of... oh yeah, sorry, that's the same. So after making another stack of 3, as we have been doing all along, make sure the Puyo on top matches the 3 on the bottom. In this example, it is a blue Puyo. You got that? It must be different from the stacks nearby and the same as the stack below. And for the 3 yellow Puyos we placed, we chose yellow on purpose. It works best if you use the same color as the second column. You can swap this later, but for now practice with the basics. Make these 3 match the second column. Ready to pop some Puyos? I don't think... are they gonna have you do it? Surely they're still gonna be doing it. Seven chain, but it can be larger too. There is no reason to stop at 7. In order to get larger chains, we need to stack on top. Stacks on top of stacks. Or stacks on top of... and where they overlap is our turnaround. It looks chaotic at first, but that is only because it is new to you. First selected colors will be placed on the farther side and we'll set up a turnaround. Important, take note of the Puyos that we'll be dropping. So far we have blue and yellow. But look, there's a fiendish red coming in. The second row from the left is where our turnaround Puyo will be placed. That's this yellow Puyo here. Now we place more. Make new stacks and other columns for Puyos of new colors. You remember how to make stair stacks, right? Do you?
Yeah.
And this is how we determine our colors. Our turnaround section is completed. It is very important in a turnaround. We need to complete the top and lower right stacks. I do like how it's just so convenient the way they're doing this. The bottom stacks are all completed. Let's pop them. It looks difficult at first, but just practice it. You will master these tricks in no time. And do you want to look at the middle one?
No, I say we can go play.
Okay. And yeah, we'll leave the fusion for the moment.
Okay, back to story.